I think I'm right. Yes, I am. It's fine. So I'm in the studios, Cobhams Asuquo Studios, massive studio, amazing studio. But this time around, I won't be doing the questions. I'll be asking the questions. I'm a guest.
I will be asking the questions.
All right.
Yes. So you should even stop introducing this thing.
I'm sorry. Go right ahead, Chief.
Okay, so how do they do this thing? You watch all these podcast type things. So he's not by any means near controversial, but he's, for all intents and purposes, relevant. Relevant as a VJ, relevant as a rap artist, which is a shocker to some of us who have done music for a long time. He's ventured into music in many different respects, from music management, talent management, to production, to now writing and delivering his own sick rhymes. He's still a VJ on TV and a DJ on radio. He is, believe it or not, the interviewer who has turned the interviewee. So I am talking to none other guys than VJ Adams. Woo, woo, woo,
That's the best introduction I've heard in my entire life. No one has ever
I
introduced
was
me
trying
like this.
to do Christiana Amanpour meets Oprah Winfrey. You remember this is all these podcast things, so I'm like, yeah, I have to do this. VJ, what's going on, man?
Very well, pleasure to be here. Amazing
Yeah.
studio.
So a lot of you people don't know this, but VJ Adams and I have done work together.
That's right.
He was instrumental for some of the push that we did for some of the artists who were signed to camp that were really, really successful. He did some amazing work with us. He was traveling around town and just doing awesome things while still holding down his steady job as a VJ with Soundcity.
That's right.
Now you're on radio. Yeah, there's a lot to talk about. So
Absolutely.
let's get right to it. VJ Adams, what's this business with you doing music? People are using minimal eye to look you, but yeah, I'm looking at you with a slightly larger eye.
That's right.
What's going on?
For me, it's I'm just trying to fulfill my potential as a human being. I feel like if you're blessed with talent and you don't use it, you might end up regretting it at some point. So I started off trying to understand the business, and it was an honor to work with you in capacity as managing one of your talents at the time. It gave me a better insight into the production, how much work goes on behind the scenes, because I was on the receiving end getting the music, but working through the process, I could understand how it really comes alive, from recording, from writing to recording, mixing and mastering. Wow. Going out to even promote the music itself, perception of the artist's image and all of that stuff. So I'm just honestly trying to fulfill my potential as a human being and living the dream.
I understand that, and I think a lot of people are trying to do that, but you don't find people who become lawyers, then become accountants, then become doctors, then turn around and fly planes, then turn around and write rhymes, then yeah. So it's quite a switch. I know it's still in the same music space.
That's right.
And we've seen you. Like you said, you've managed. You've presented, you've done all of that, but just moving to this space where you're a rap. Do you have some background, some history? Did you used to rap in school?
Okay.
Where did this all come from? It didn't just pop out of nowhere.
No, it didn't just pop out of nowhere. So growing up, back in secondary school, I used to write poems.
That's the part you did not tell us.
That's the part I never told anyone.
So you now came and scoped all of us out. So I'm just presenting this. So this has always been there.
It's been there somehow. So it was easier for me to channel the energy of writing poems into writing rap verses.
At what point did you believe that you could do it commercially? Because you've been presenting, so obviously you're a critique.
Yes.
So at what point did you believe, I can do this thing commercially? I can come out with this thing, and it would make sense.
I think it was 2015. I was privileged to work with MI.
Oh wow!
On a
yeah,
record.
I remember that track.
I wrote the chorus to the song, and after hearing his verses, low-key in my room, without even telling him, I was trying to write a verse to try and assume if finally I put my voice on the song, how it would sound like. But then I felt like I didn't do well enough. So
MI can make anybody feel that.
So I'm like, no.
That's not to you alone. MI is, so I've listened to some of MI's recordings that have not been released. I'm like, MI is like, so I think of people, I don't know, I probably haven't said this publicly. I think of like Da Vinci, I think of Caravaggio, I think of Mozart, I think of MI. MI has a mind that you know, I don't know that, you know, we even have the bandwidth to appreciate for what it is right now. His mind is so deep and so full of that. He just has perspective.
That's right.
It's kai.
That's right. So at the time, I wrote the verse, but I didn't share with anyone. So I let the song go out like that. So as I called Tiwezi, I'm like, you know, bro, I think...
Shout out to Tiwezi. Tiwezi is bending somewhere, pressing laptop. Tiwezi, show me your face.
I can see Tiwezi. So, I mean, I had to call him. I'm like, bro, I think I'm ready. Let me just start recording, you know. Nice. And then we got into the studio. We made about, approximately about 100 songs back in 2015.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about that. So you went into the studio in 2015 and you recorded about 100 songs.
Absolutely.
Why?
First off, to be honest, I wanted to reconvince myself I was ready. Because I didn't want to come out.
And it had to take 100 songs.
You know, for me, I could have even recorded more. I didn't want, it was a new terrain, writing the music. So I write the first one. People listen to it, and I didn't want to gas myself up with the great comments. So I'm like, can you do this again?
Yeah, Nigerians, we can watch.
You know, we can watch.
Shaman.
So it's a case of, can you do it again? Then I'm like, let's make another song. Can you do it again? So much so, when I hear like an ordinary people, I asked him, can you get this instrumental for me? Let me write a verse. Let me assume Cobhams featured me.
I heard the one you did on Aduke. That stuff was just sick. I loved it. I listened to it. I was like, oh wow. We should, you know what? Maybe I should probably put a clip of that. So I'll put a clip of that on my page. So wherever you're watching this, you will find a clip of Aduke.
Nice.
VJ Adams remix.
That's right.
It was something. And yes, when you listen to it, you know, drop a line, drop us a comment, tell us what you think about it, you know. And so you know, guys, this whole situation right now is spontaneous. We didn't plan it.
No.
He came to see me for something else and we decided we were going to do an interview.
Real quick.
So let me ask you a question. This is it. You went into the studio in 2015, recorded about 100 songs.
That's right.
I've had a conversation with, you know, Tiwa, where she was telling us about how she was part of a writing camp and they wrote about 200 and something songs. So I know that this is the practice. But for you, here's my question. Writing 100 songs to try to convince yourself that you can do this.
Right.
Are you a perfectionist?
I think I am.
That's very perfectionistic.
I think I am. I go back and forth during mixing and mastering processes about, I get some songs 11th, you know, mix.
Wow.
And it's just crazy because, you know, the early stages, I couldn't really explain myself in the musical terms. What I thought was wrong. I'm like, no, there's just something wrong. When I was making the song with Tiwezi, we put this piano here to create certain emotions. Why did you take it out? You know, so I'm back and forth.
You too, why did you take it out? By the way, Tiwezi worked with me, guys. Just so you know, Tiwezi and I worked together for a long time.
That's right.
Tiwezi's father was my piano teacher.
Wow.
Tiwezi's father, you know, I'm a lot of, you know, I owe a lot of, you know, who I am or what I am today to Tiwezi's father. You know, in primary school, he used to play the piano, and I wanted to play like him. That was my goal in life.
Wow. To
play like Tiwezi's father. You know, Mr. John Yakini. Shout out to Chief. Shout out. Anyway, what's wrong with this guy? I'm just supposed to be presenting to the team, shouting everywhere. Oh my God! No, but you are. It's amazing. I'm excited, VJ Adams. I'm excited that, you know, in our time, you know, we have people who go full measure, who don't think that it's okay to just do it now. People are wanting Kojaya. Let's put it out there. You know, that you would go the extra mile, and it comes through in your work. It comes through in, you know, your lines. You know, you've discovered a voice. You know what I mean?
That's right.
When you listen to Sting, you listen to Majek Fashek, you listen to Bob Marley, you listen to Asha, you listen to people who make great music. The common denominator is a uniqueness in their tone and texture. And I think that's something you found and something that you're putting there. So that, you know, when the time comes and you are old and grey and you have had grandchildren and great-grandchildren and you depart this earth peacefully, people are going to remember that voice, VJ Adams' voice.
That's right.
You know what I mean? It's that uniqueness. And I appreciate it and I celebrate it.
Thank you so
much.
And
I thank you for coming and hang out with me. So this thing is going online. Online people, they don't have plenty. Attention is not plenty. I see the odds.
I know.
I've carried this interview on for like a hot minute. So we're going to bring this to the end right now. But I'm just going to say, VJ Adams, thank you for dropping by.
Thank you so much for having me.
We hope to have have many more of these kinds of visits, and then hopefully we can talk. But there's so much I want to talk about with you.
I know.
But I don't want to carry this on for a long time. I want your opinion on a number of things. There's so much going on in the industry.
That's right.
And I know that you're someone you become sort of like is this sommelier? What do you call those people? All those wine tasters. The one that came from Bordeaux. But we'll talk about all those different things as we
Absolutely.
progress. Guys, we don't even have a name for the program. We don't feel like we need to. We just want to share a perspective with you guys, and that's what this is about. Thank you very much. It's Cobhams Asuquo, VJ Adams, and Tiwezi. Peace.
Peace.